Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Closing Comments here on April 28th. Let's jump into these charts and see how we opened up for the week. June live cattle are up to start us off. Today we saw a nice continued upside on this front month June contract. Did get a nice push up into new all-time highs. After balancing out late last week, we did get this compression here in this about $1.50 range on Thursday and Friday, showing price balancing out, tightening up. Coming into this week, we're expecting expansion either way if we're going to get a break of either the high or lows here. But we did get a nice open above these prior day highs. Did fill the gap, just a tiny little gap here, tested the prior day high and found that support and rallied into new all-time highs today. Getting a nice close up here at 209.72 on this June contract. Would expect the bulls to keep carrying this momentum into tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week, and possibly setting us up for a nice trend week. So be looking for continued upside on those fat cattle. Now over to our August feeders. We got a nice open above our bull pivot today, getting that gap up and pushing up into new all-time highs during that opening range. However, we did see a pullback throughout the day with price filling that gap and finding support inside Friday's range, getting that close back above that bull pivot at 294.55. This was a good sign for the bulls, as we should expect to see continued upside with that close above our pivot here. Should see a continued drift higher on these feeders as well. Cattle market's looking strong. Should see that uptrend continue throughout the rest of the week. And feeders should be sniffing out this $3 mark as it's within reach and potentially could get there by the end of the week. So be looking for continued upside in this cattle market. Next up, we got corn. Our July corn contract today saw a little bit of back and forth following an overnight session that sold us down and got us close to our bear pivot. We did get that opening range right here, right around 477, finding support, probing our prior week's low, and pushing up throughout the rest of the day. Our news events, the exports and crop progress reports were kind of a non-event today, not seeing a whole lot of volatility. Definitely got a lot of volume traded today, but didn't really see any crazy ranges or anything. This big wick lower, probing that bear pivot and closing higher is a good sign. Seeing support at these moving averages and getting a close above the 20 and the 50. This is a good sign for the bulls. Expect them to see support inside today's range going into tomorrow. Any support in here, we should see the bulls try and pick this thing up. And if we're able to clear today's high as well as this 487.50 pivot for the week, we should see the bulls get ready for a new leg higher and start heading back towards that $5 mark on this July corn contract. Next up, crude oil. Today we saw a nice downside in the crude market. Oil opening up just above 63 and getting a nice push lower coming off the Sunday open yesterday with continued downside all day long, pushing down below our 62 level, which was our bear pivot for last week. This nice engulfing action was a big win for the bulls following that resistance at the 20-day average. The bears should expect to see continued downside here as long as they can get some momentum down below the 62 mark going into tomorrow. We could see a nice push down into the 50s again, and the bears get in the driver's seat and push this thing lower. Nice downtrend still intact. Would expect those bears to keep pushing this market lower. However, we have seen some choppy conditions recently, so beware of continued sideways action here trading around this 20-day average. But would expect the bulls to the bears to keep breaking down on the 62 level and hopefully get some follow through to the downside going forward for some cheaper oil. Now over to our equities. The equity markets saw a nice balanced day today. Prices not really going anywhere. Today we saw the S&P trading just right around our Friday's range, getting a brief push above our bull pivot at 55.62 before settling back inside Friday's range. Nice balanced day here across all of our indexes, the Nasdaq staying here as well as the Dow. Prices just kind of hanging out, staying steady in a nice low volatility day. We are seeing some good upside. This close above 5,500 is a big win for the bulls, so we expect them to keep putting up pressure here into these prior moving averages. The 50-day and the 200-day moving averages are going to be key levels we're going to need to attack going forward if we want to see sustained upside in the stock market. Right here we do have a nice big wide range between 55.62 and 57.73. This about 200 point range here was the tariff day announcement on April 2nd that started this whole breakdown. So we should expect to see some resistance at different points throughout as we try to chew through this range from April 2nd. But the bulls are putting the pieces together and starting to look like they got a chance at some upside here. So cautiously optimistic still is the stance this week. We are seeing some good setups on some underlying components and individual names. So there's definitely opportunities out there. Just need to see these indexes push through some of this prior resistance and get a nice close above these key moving averages, the 50 and 200-day moving averages, to really give us the confidence in a new sustainable uptrend. So expect the bulls to keep fighting here, putting up a good battle, but it's not going to be a straight up path from here. Expect some resistance and a nice battle back and forth. Be selective and keep your powder dry for when this market does get reversed and we start to see some upside with some smoother sailing. That's all we got for tonight. Hope everyone had a great day. Catch you tomorrow.